My first response to these charges is to distinguish callousness from indifference or carelessness. There is a sense in which any military commander who's going to do his job has to be able to callous himself, to thicken his skin. And actually, this applies to anybody in a position of leadership. When you have to do things and decide things that you know will harm people, you can't allow your decision-making to be overcome by your acute sensitivity to the harm that will follow from your decisions. Harm you don't intend, but you can't avoid. Any military commander has to be emotionally capable of ordering his troops to risk their lives, and in some cases, capable of ordering them to their probable or certain deaths. Moreover, the doctrine of just war requires some prospect of success, and history suggests, I think, that successful military commanders are those who are calloused enough to be ruthless in what they demand of their own troops. Take this example from the Battle of El Alamein in October 1942, which was the first and last major land success that British imperial troops alone achieved against German forces in the Second World War. In the middle of the battle, the New Zealand Major General Freyberg held a briefing conference at which he communicated General Bernard Montgomery's orders to Brigadier John Curry, commander of the 9th Armoured Brigade. And this is how Barry Pitt describes the conference. The task for 9th Armoured Brigade to advance past the infantry objective, break through the enemy defences, and immediately beyond the Rahman track, and then hold open the gap against enemy counterattacks until the heavy brigades of the 1st Armoured Division had gone through, was so obviously one of difficulty and danger that when Curry's time came to make comment, he rather diffidently suggested that by the end of the day, his brigade might well have suffered 50% casualties. To this, Freyberg had replied with studied nonchalance. Perhaps more than that, the Army Commander Montgomery says he's prepared to accept 100%. Was Montgomery callous? In a certain militarily necessary sense, yes, he was. Was he careless of the lives of his troops? Not at all. On the contrary, Montgomery was a highly popular commander because while he was willing to spend his soldiers' lives, he was careful not to waste them. And he was also careful to make sure that his men understood what was being asked of them and why.